We knew from the onset that Big Hero 6 was going to be uniquely challenging. We knew from the very beginning that it was going to be an emotionally ambitious story. We knew that there were going to be a lot of disparate elements that we were going to have to try to pull together into a cohesive whole. And at times we felt like there was two distinct genres we were trying to meld together into one thing. And there were a lot of characters. So we knew this was going to be a really challenging film. So we relied on methods that we use at Disney that really emphasize collaboration and iteration. As far as collaboration goes, one of the primary responsibilities of the director is to come up with a strong story. But you're going to be surrounded by really talented, really amazing people who are going to help you. And so one of the most important things you can do is reach out and pull the best ideas out of the people that are assembled. And so collaborative environment's really important. But that kind of environment can be difficult to achieve in reality because in some ways it fights human nature. We all want to be told all the time that all of our ideas are amazing and every thought we have is gold. And wow, Mr. Williams, Mr. Hall, you've done it again.
How do you do it?
How do you do it? But if that's all you ever get, the story's not going to get any better. So you have to really fight the very human desire for affirmation, and you have to actively foster an environment where people feel comfortable disagreeing with you if that's how they feel, and disagreeing with each other if that's how they feel. We really want that honest and open debate because one thing you can't overemphasize is the fact that when it comes to story, conflict is good and disagreement is good because in that collision between two contradictory ideas, oftentimes a third and better idea will emerge that would never have seen the light of day had there not been that vigorous discussion. So that's what we want in our story rooms. The flip side of that is that even as you're disagreeing, you have to be respectful of other people's points of view. Because when you talk story, you make yourself very vulnerable. When you talk about story, you'll end up in the story room for hours and days on end talking about things that you love, things that you hate, things that make you sad, and you're really pulling from your own life experience. So when you offer an idea, to some extent you're saying, this is who I am. And that line between who you are and what you do starts to become very fuzzy. So it's really important to find that place where you can be honest and open, but never let things get personal. And I think we have slides here of Dawn and I in the story room.
Go back to that other slide real quick, Garth. Look how exciting that is.
Look at that energy.
Look at it. It's amazing. It really captured the raw energy.
There's that
of the
vigorous
story.
discussion I was touting.
Look at it.
But Chris,
I'm very interested.
You should mention, because most people here, I would wager most people have never been in a Disney story room, and you should very briefly describe why is it set up that way? What is all that stuff? What's the purpose of the pictures on top, the pictures on the bottom? What's the deal?
Oh, well, we've had this convenient little space at the top of our story rooms that I think back on Bolt, we began the tradition of pinning up big pieces of VizDev art that would stay up there to be a visual inspiration. And the story room itself becomes a real sanctuary. It's a home away from home. And we will spend hours and days and weeks and years on end in this room. It really is the creative center for the story department and it's a hub for the whole production. And it's where we'll work out the outline. There's the outline on the back wall there, all the cards. You'll work with the story team on the outline. The outline will continue to evolve over the course of the years of production. You'll meet with writers and talk about the scenes. They'll go off and write a scene and come back. We'll have a story artist take the scene, go off and board it and bring it back, pitch it in this room to the story team, and begin the cycle over and over and over again of rewriting, reboarding, and restructuring the film. It all happens in this room. And I think it's worth mentioning that the people who work in these kind of environments, the writers and the story artists, they have to have a very thick skin because often your job is to go off on your own and work on a scene and create something that hopefully you like and you think serves the film and something you become very invested in. And after 1 or 2 weeks of work, you'll come back into the story room and you have to pitch it. And you have to pitch it with passion and conviction, and you have to believe in it. And then you have to turn a switch and you have to sit down and listen to people whose job it is to judge that idea. And they'll tell you what they liked, what they didn't like, what they do differently. And you have to be receptive to these other points of view, even if at first you don't agree, because in that In that conflict, you may find that third and better idea. And all of this iteration, all of this rewriting, reboarding, it's all sort of working towards a screening. There's always a screening looming. And our screenings are a real milestone for the production. We'll do between 6 and maybe 8 or 9 at the most screenings.
And who's in these screenings? Who's sitting in these?
It's the crew. It's all internal. The crew will come and watch it. We'll oftentimes invite people in from other shows just to get a fresh perspective. And that's what it really is. It's an opportunity to take stock of where you're at on the film.
Also,
look at it in its current
studio.
state.
Bob Iger will show up. Alan Horn. We'll have the big boys there. We'll also have the marketing teams come in just so that they can start getting. It really is a chance for us to all invest in what this film is going to be.